Welcome to Bulgaria. I'm in Sofia. Got here yesterday with a plane from Belgrade. Originally I wanted to come with a bus, but currently due to the ongoing pandemic it's really difficult to cross borders and I was unsure if there's even a bus across the border. So I'm here in the capital of the country, but I'm not gonna explore Sofia for now. That's the next video coming up on this channel. Today I'm heading out on a tour to the Rila Monastery. This monastery was built in the 10th century and it's one of Bulgaria's most interesting sights to see. So I can't wait to get out there. The bus is going to pick me up at a central location in the city very soon and then we will head out to the mountains. Before we headed to Rila Monastery, we stopped by Boyana Church. This is a medieval Bulgarian Orthodox church that was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List, and it was really cool to see this. The church was built in the 10th century and was expanded multiple times throughout history. The best thing about this church is its interior, as there are some beautifully detailed paintings to see. Unfortunately, they are really strict and they don't allow any pictures inside the church. Another reason to come to this site is the beautiful sequoia tree they've got in their garden. It was imported by a foreigner from the United States and now looks pretty impressive in their garden. It's also the first one I've ever seen, so that was also really cool. Alright, let's head to Rila Monastery now. So this is it, the monastery of Saint Ivan of Rila. It is the most important spiritual center of Bulgaria and it's located in the stunning Rila Mountains. There is so much to say about the history of this place, but I will keep it short. The monastery was founded by Saint John of Rila, a hermit that was loved by the people of this area in the 10th century. Rila Monastery is a shining example of the local culture and the art of Christian building technique in the Balkans. When you're visiting, make sure to make enough time to visit also the interior of the church, because you'll find a stunning display of the stories of the monastery. By the way, Rila Monastery is still a monastery to this day, which means that guests need to be considerate and respectful towards the monks and believers that visit this site. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this look around Rila Monastery, a bit of a shorter video. We just went there, had a look around the monastery and then also stopped on the way there at the Boyana Church. This day tour really didn't take too long compared to the Dracula Castle excursion I for example did in Bucharest. This one was a very easy tour and a very chill day, so I definitely recommend to do this tour out to Rila Monastery from Sofia. Very nice and easy to do. There are plenty of tours going out there. Welcome to Bulgaria and good morning from Sofia. I finally get the time to explore this capital. I already saw a few bits and I'm very impressed so far. But today I'm gonna go on a self-guided tour around the city and I'm gonna show you all the monuments, impressive churches and basically everything there is to see here in Sofia. So let's get out there and let's explore Sofia. So I'm starting the day at the obvious highlight of the city, the Alexander Nevsky Church. You really have to be here to understand the sheer size of this church. It's about 100 years old and the decorations on the outside are just beautiful. Now let's head inside and have a look around there. So unfortunately I cannot show you pictures from inside the Alexander Nevsky Church. It does look very beautiful, but it costs €6 to take the camera inside and take a few pictures. I think that's a bit much. I'm now in front of Saint Sofia Church. It's very interesting, this church actually gave the name to the city Sofia. Sofia originally had a different name, but travelers that came here in the 13th century just saw Sofia the church and said, okay, this is Sofia. So they changed the name of the city after this cathedral was built. If you're not into churches and cathedral, then Sofia might not be for you, but if you are, you're gonna love this city. I'm literally going from church to church, and here's another one, the oldest building in town. This one was built in the year 300, so pretty impressive. So it has just started raining this afternoon in Sofia, so I'm heading inside to check out the National Archaeological Museum. So that was a nice little museum. Good thing to notice is also that they let you take pictures inside the museum for free in this one, because in many other museums here in Sofia they charge an extra fee for that. Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today I'm taking you on a trip to Bulgaria. To be more precise, we're heading to the Rila Mountains. The Rila Mountains are a mountain range in southwestern Bulgaria, located not too far from Sofia. It's a great place for hiking, and you can spend weeks exploring the region if you want. On this day I went on a trip to go and see the 7 Rila lakes, probably one of the most beautiful things you can see in Bulgaria. This site is well known because at some point while climbing the mountains you'll be able to see all the 7 lakes at once. Make sure to watch till the end of the video so I can tell you how I got to this destination and how you can visit too. Alright, so I'm now on the chairlift heading up the mountain. Already looks beautiful. There is some fog around, but up there the view should be spectacular. Should be at the top soon, and then we'll start the hike. So the hike has started, and it's really pretty much straightforward up the paved road, up this mountain, and we should get a beautiful view of the lakes from up there. So when you are hiking up in these mountains, the weather changes extremely quickly. Right now there are already dark clouds coming in, so we'll monitor it closely and might have to get back to the safe zone earlier. Let's see. an amazing view of the lakes down here. And that's when I had to stop filming because all of a sudden it started raining hard and the wind picked up. Since I also didn't pack for a hiking holiday, I didn't have the right clothes with me and we had to get down as soon as possible. Going down all the way, however, wasn't possible because they had shut the chairlift due to the storm. So we found ourselves in a packed mountain hut with everybody trying to warm up somehow around the fire. In the end, they put the chairlift back on and we got down, got home safe. It was a great experience and a great day out. The 7 Rila lakes are a must visit in my opinion if you are in Bulgaria, and it's quite easy to get there with a tour company. There are many companies available, so I won't mention a specific one, but you can either just book the transportation, which takes about 1.5 hours with the bus from Sofia, or you can also book a guide. Due to the rapidly changing weather conditions, it does make sense to have a guide with you. For the last time, welcome to Bulgaria. I'm in Plovdiv in an Airbnb high above the city. Gonna go out and see what Plovdiv is all about. This is the last video from my trip to Eastern Europe, and Plovdiv is looking to be just another highlight. This is one of the oldest cities in Europe, which means that it has been inhabited for a very long time. The Romans were here, so there are some beautiful sights to see today. So let's get started right away and let's explore Plovdiv. I'm starting the day in a beautiful city park. You can find this place on Google Maps if you type in the Singing Fountains. Now it's called the Singing Fountains because there's a fountain show going on in the lake over there. That's not on for the moment. I don't know if it will be on in the evening or if it's cut off because of COVID. But nevertheless, it's a beautiful park to start the day. People are watching like puppet theaters and it's just a beautiful atmosphere around here. You might know that there's the Roman Forum in Rome, Italy, but Plovdiv has its own Roman Forum as well. It's beautiful to see some stunning archaeological work to admire, just right here next to the Singing Fountains Park. I'm pretty sure I've made it to the coolest spot in the city, the ancient theater, and as you can see it's still in use. They're building something for a new show coming up, but you can still visit it. It's 2 left for students and I think about 10 left for just regular admission. It's a really cool thing to see and quite special as well. What I really like about the old town of Plovdiv is that it's still very authentic. People still live here. It's the old core of the city. There are cobblestone paths. It hasn't been taken over by fancy shops or cars. It really is just a calm neighborhood with old buildings, and it's great to check out on foot.
Plovdiv is famous for its various hills across the city, and I'm now on one of them just at the top of Old Town. Get a few good views across the city from up here, and there's also an old fortress, well, at least the ruins of it, that you can come and see here. I'm now climbing one of the other hills of Plovdiv, and it's quite the hike up here to this statue. It's really cool. There are loads of plants, a real off-road adventure. Great views there over Plovdiv to wrap up this trip to Plovdiv, but also the whole trip to Eastern Europe. I hope you enjoyed it. We have visited Ukraine, Moldova, Serbia, Romania, and now Bulgaria together. If you haven't seen the previous videos from this trip, I highly recommend you to go and check them out. Thank you very much for watching this trip. There's a new one coming soon, I promise. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.